What's up? Tom here. Twin System recap for Sunday, April 12th. A full slate of games, of course. Some pretty crazy ones. Saints lost 11-8 despite carrying an 8-4 lead into the bottom of the ninth inning. The Wind Surge won in 11 innings. The Colonels got destroyed 15-5. The Mighty Muscles won 9-3. Twins won 8-2, taking a series in Toronto after mopping the Tigers. What an insane week. I mean, how do you get any better than that in a week? That's insane. And Andrew Morris made his major league debut, pitched 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Knew the assignment. Entered in an 8-1 game, threw 75% of his pitches for strikes, topped out at 98. Just a dream scenario to debut in. I mean, you can't draw it up any better than that to be able to come into an 8-1 ball game. But again, he did exactly what he needed to do. Gave up 6 hits in 3 innings. That's getting knocked around a bit, but didn't give up any really loud damage. Just took care of business and looked comfortable out there. Looked like Andrew Morris out there. So, he is going to, go through his struggles like anybody else, but I think in this game, he really showed what he can do. He showed how he can kind of be a chameleon and be a completely different guy against right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters. He can go with what pitches work for him. He can throw a ton of strikes if that's what he needs to do. And I think he understands the situation. He understands how to be pitch efficient. He understands what of his pitches do what when, which ones to throw early in the count, which ones to throw if he's behind, which ones. It's just and there's not a super loud, even though the velo is there, even his fastball isn't really a true kind of plus pitch. And he doesn't really have a great 2-strike pitch. And so those are the things that have kind of prevented him from being like a higher up prospect. But you can just see the formula all there for a big league pitcher. It's the sum of all the parts, and just knowing how to use all that makes Andrew Morris special. So very cool to see him debut and pitch well for the Twins. On to the stars of the day. Third star, Miguel Braceno of Cedar Rapids, a guy who the Twins picked up in the Rule 5, the minor league portion of the Rule 5 draft in 2024. So this is his second year with the club. With the org, I should say. Former Milwaukee Brewer, and he's Brewersy, kind of like Garrett Spain they took from the Brewers system in the minor league Rule 5 draft this past year. He went 4 for 4 with a homer, 2 runs, and 3 RBI. Not a guy known for his bat at all. He has got a .680 career OPS in the minor leagues. So nice to see something like that out of a guy who's known more so for his glove. Second star, Ty Langenberg for Wichita. Really off to a nice start. 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings for Ty Langenberg. He's a guy who pitched out of relief in his last outing. But this was his third outing, 11th round pick from Iowa back in 2023. 1.54 ERA, 17 strikeouts in 11 2/3 innings now for Ty Langenberg. Again, 17 Ks in 11 2/3 innings. So he's definitely demanding some attention early on here. But no one was going to touch this guy. Kyler Fedko today almost hit 4 home runs. This close. Well, not this close, but maybe like a foot or 2 away from hitting 4 home runs today. He hit 3 home runs and a triple. Home run distances you see there, 437, 429, 397, and he had a 411-foot triple. It hit kind of a part of the wall where it goes from a shorter wall to a really tall wall, and it still almost went over that, but it was high off that wall. But if it would have been, again, a couple more feet away, he would have a 4-homer game. And as it stands, 1,674 feet of distance on his 4 hits. Just bananas. And he's a guy who's off to a slow start and kind of adjusting to not like a bench role all the way, but definitely not a full-time role. He made 9 starts in the first 14 Saints games. He has been coming in later in games when Walker Jenkins has played a lot of 7-inning games so far. This is as locked in as you could possibly get in a game. 4 for 4 with 3 homers and a triple. Wow, Kyler Fedko. How do you top that? Well, we should be able to give him 2 stars. Speaking of Jenkins, he had a really nice game. 3 for 4 with a walk, 2 stolen bases, a run, and an RBI. 2 of those hits were off lefties. So that's encouraging as a left-handed hitter. Brian Acuna was 3 for 4 with a stolen base. Jason Bass hit a 3-run homer for Fort Myers, both those guys. Ben Ross, who's been off to an amazing start, 2 for 5 with his 5th stolen base already. And then Eric Hammond, who got the start for Fort Myers, a guy who went undrafted but as a junior. So the Twins signed him as an undrafted free agent, convincing him to forego his senior year and join the organization instead. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. There you have it there. Ben Ross inching up a little further with his honorable mention, and then Kyler Fedko with his 5-point day today, getting the first star, climbs in that kind of crowded group at 6 points. Been slow going for, we'll talk about Kalen Culpepper in a sec, but Alan Roden, he actually had a good game today. I think in a lot of other days he would at least get an honorable mention, but it was pretty packed today. But he has slowed down a lot, and actually to the point where his numbers with the Saints don't even look that great at this point. But kind of the way it goes as we score things this way. I think that's why it's kind of an interesting approach. So we can all look at the overall numbers and have a good idea of what that means. But we kind of get a different piece of the puzzle here looking at things like this. Again, Andrew Morris, just so hyped to have watched him, and just such a rewarding experience having followed his entire minor league career and see that happen today. But some other guys you definitely be looking out for. Kendry Rojas was back with the Saints. 2 2/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Kalen Culpepper 0 for 5 with a strikeout as the second baseman. Gabriel Gonzalez 1 for 5, scored a run as the first baseman. So kind of some interesting usages from both of those guys. This was Gonzalez's second start at first base. Eduardo Tait 2 for 5 with a run and RBI, did strike out twice, but he's been off to a slow start, so that's nice to see him get something going. Quentin Young, who played shortstop today, committed his 6th error in just 8 games for Fort Myers so far, so that is rough. He's had some good moments at the plate, but has also looked very rough around the edges there. He's really raw. That was kind of expected coming in, and might look a little ugly sometimes for him, to be honest. Speaking of ugly, man, Marco Raya is a third of an inning, gives up 3 hits and 3 walks, and all 6 of those guys score. So I think his ERA is like 12. Thanks for checking this one out. I appreciate you. Check out Limestone Pipeline on Patreon. I'll be having some highlights to share there tomorrow. But thanks for checking this one out. I appreciate you. We'll talk again on Tuesday.